Welcome to Insights in Business. I'm Ruth Snyder, the Executive Director of the Campbell River and District Chamber of Commerce. And joining me today is Mr. George Hanson, who is the President of the Vancouver Island Economic Alliance. Thank you so much for joining me today.
My pleasure.
George, if you could explain to us what the Vancouver Island Economic Alliance actually is, how was it first formed?
Well, it was first formed in 2006. It was actually incorporated in early 2007. And it was formed out of a recognition that together we're better on Vancouver Island. There's a lot of talk always about collaboration, but usually collaboration happens in the sort of dead areas between silos without much substance to them.
Right.
And so our middle name is collaboration. It's all about bringing people together, looking at and looking for solutions to nagging problems in our economy, raising awareness about opportunities running under the radar, right?
Okay.
And the entire intention of the creation of the Alliance was regional economic development. How do we bring the stakeholders together and help move the economy forward? So our mandate is very simple. We exist to help ensure that we have a vital and sustainable island economy.
And are the Gulf Islands included in
Absolutely.
that? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now, what was the first sort of reaction to the creation of the Alliance?
I think, initially people were skeptical. They usually are with something new.
Yeah.
There was, interestingly too, there was some resistance from the Chambers of Commerce because they thought,
Really?
well, this is going to be a member organization. They're going to steal our members from us. But actually, no one has ever joined the Alliance rather than joining a chamber,
Right.
because we do very different things. Chambers are very focused on the communities that they're serving, working to advocate for the business community, making sure that council is aware of what's going on in the business community and what the needs are, et cetera. Whereas the Economic Alliance actually assists chambers and assists economic development offices and others as well by looking for those broad opportunities that will benefit everybody.
Okay. How long have you been with the organization?
10 years.
Oh, that's a very long time. In your early years, what was the most surprising aspect for you in your conversations with businesses and the general public around the Alliance?
The surprising aspect, I think, was how few people actually knew we existed and what we do.
Okay.
So a lot of the work early on for me, I took on the organization when it was about 5 years old. And it was about taking this young organization that was working to find its way and building its credibility and building the network and connection and support with stakeholders so that we could actually work together and move the economy in a direction that we thought was sustainable and healthy for the island.
Now, speaking of the economy, this year we've all been thrown a great big loop. So how has the Alliance had to shift its messaging or mandate or approach in the last 6-7 months to respond to the global pandemic?
Well, interesting. Yes, we have been thrown quite a loop, and the work that we have been doing on the vitality and sustainability of the economy has actually shown to be even more important now.
Okay.
So, for instance, our Island Good program is focused on building market share, building awareness, helping increase sales and increase production for people in the island region that are producing goods.
Okay.
And the pandemic has only dramatically increased public awareness and government awareness too of the importance of a supply chain where we have products that are made locally. It helps to secure the local economy and support the jobs that are in the local economy that are producing those goods. So we started Island Good back in 2015, actually launched it in 2018, and we're building awareness of this tool, this brand that helps consumers identify local products in the stores and places that they're shopping. And now that's even more important because of the pandemic and the recognition of the need for local goods.
So if somebody is a local producer, say of cheese or wine or spirits or mattresses, they can sign up for the program?
Correct.
And they would become an Island Good producer?
Yes, they become a licensee. So we've licensed and trademarked the Island Good brand.
All right.
And retailers that carry Island products of any description can become licensed to use the Island Good brand so they can communicate to shoppers that they carry Island Good or local products. And then producers of products, and we have steel container manufacturers and mattress manufacturers and small building manufacturers, et cetera, that are licensed, as well as lots of food and beverage people.
And are you growing the list of items that you will license?
Well, we don't have a list of anything that we will license. If it is produced on Vancouver Island, it can be Island Good.
Okay. Right? What if it's not? What if the raw materials come from somewhere else, but the actual final product is made here?
The reason it took us 3 years to launch the brand was because we had to answer all of those questions. Figure out what it was we were trying to accomplish and where the lines were. And where we drew the line was there needs to be value added to the product on Vancouver Island. So I'll give you an example. Level Ground Coffee in Victoria is an Island Good product. Okay, you can go in your grocery store and buy it, and it's Island Good. Well, clearly we don't grow coffee on Vancouver Island.
Clearly.
So how is that local? It's local because they import those beans, they roast those beans, they package those beans. You know, they are creating jobs in our economy on Vancouver Island.
You are watching Insights in Business. My guest today is George Hanson. Please stay right where you are. We're going to be right back.
This is my habitat house. My parents helped build it. Now we don't get wet when it rains. I don't get too hot or too cold inside. And I don't have to worry when the winds blow. This is my house.
This is my house. This is my house.
My house.
My house.
I can play with my sister. I can play with my brother. I can play with my mother, my father, my family.
My family. My family. This is my house. This is my house.
I can study. I can be safe with my family. This is my house.
This is my house.
My house.
My house.
This is my house.
Find out how you can help more families like mine have a safe, decent place to call home.
Welcome back to Insights in Business. We are coming to you from the Tidemark Theatre here in Campbell River. My guest today is Mr. George Hanson, who is the president of the Vancouver Island Economic Alliance. Now, we were just talking about Island Good and the branding capabilities for anybody who's producing goods or enhancing goods here on Vancouver Island. Has there been a lot of people, especially during the pandemic, that have come on board for that? Because it seems like a huge value add from a marketing point of view.
Yes, and we have seen significant growth, and actually lots of thanks to the City of Campbell River, actually, because the City of Campbell River identified an opportunity to support local producers and merchants.
Yes, they did.
And decided to offer Island Good licensing to them for free. So we put together a partnership with the City of Campbell River, and a number of Campbell River businesses have become licensed for Island Good.
Now, what is the cost for somebody to sign up?
So we've made the cost as accessible as we could make it.
Okay.
And it is scaled depending on the size of your organization. So a micro business, a home business with no employees, for instance,
Right.
can use the Island Good brand for $150 a year.
That's it?
Yeah. And a small business with 2 to 50 employees, it's $250 a year, and
Okay.
it goes up to $1,000 a year, but scaled according to the number of employees.
Okay.
And we had one of our licensees flat out say the other day that $250 is the best money she spends in a year. She's got so much value from it.
That's awesome. Now, I'm assuming it's a hashtag for social media, like hashtag Island Good, right? So is there, have you noticed a lot of uptick from the consumer following the brand?
It is growing
Yeah.
daily.
Okay.
It's growing daily. And we have consumers that have changed where they shop because they want to support Island Good.
Oh, interesting.
And they're recognizing those stores that are carrying local products,
Yeah.
that are Island Good, and they're supporting that. I mean, when we started the program, we had a 6-month test in 45 grocery stores on Vancouver Island.
Right.
And we thought that when we were measuring it, we thought if we could get maybe a 2 or 3% lift in sales, that we would really be onto something. In that 6-month test pilot, we increased sales on 802 distinct items in grocery stores by 16.4%.
That's a lot.
Add 16.4% to your bottom line, and do you like that?
That is significant. That is really significant. Now, is alcohol included in that? Okay, because there's a lot of breweries on Vancouver Island that, of course, are doing great. And
Yes, well,
there's
nearby here, 40 Knots Winery
yep,
and
Shelter Point.
Shelter Point,
yeah.
Wayward Distillery
Yeah,
are
awesome.
all Island Good.
Excellent. Now, how do you see the Island Good program growing? Or at this point, has it got its own momentum and you just have to stick handle at this point?
It's got its momentum. It still is a long ways to grow, but
Okay.
we're expanding as we can. So one of the things that your listeners could watch for is we are going to be launching Island Good gift boxes.
Oh,
So
okay.
with the brand, it's all good, Island Good.
Great.
And people can go online on the Island Good website and just click on gift box, choose the gift box of Island items you would like to send to somebody, and it's all taken care of.
Oh, is that ever slick? That is a great idea.
And the island has such cachet around the world.
We do.
We're thinking that we can market this across globally,
Absolutely.
and essentially say, we know you couldn't come here this year, but
There
maybe
you
you'd
go.
like a taste of Vancouver Island, and here's your box.
That is really, really good. Now, that's just one of the programs you have. The other one is the Foreign Trade Zone. So can you explain to us in layman's terms what that means?
Yes. So first off, I will say we are the only regional foreign trade zone in the country, and we are the only non-government foreign trade zone.
Okay.
So all of the other foreign trade zones in Canada, and there are 13 of them,
Okay.
were awarded to municipalities. So there's a foreign trade zone in Montreal, there's a foreign trade zone in Edmonton,
Oh,
et
okay.
cetera. And what this does is it does two fundamental things. FTZ, those 3 letters, mean almost nothing to the average person on the street.
Right.
But in the world of global trade, it is the equivalent of saying Microsoft or
Right.
Apple, right? FTZ has meaning to people that are deeply involved in trade.
Okay.
So being able to market Vancouver Island as FTZVI, and you can go to ftzvi.com and read all about it,
Okay.
has opened the world's eyes to the existence of Vancouver Island as a potential place to do business,
Okay.
to do warehousing and distribution, to do manufacturing here, and to import and export from Vancouver Island.
Oh, okay.
The second thing it does is that there is a suite of tax and duty deferral programs attached to a foreign trade zone. So
Okay.
that is advantage to anyone doing business here, because if there's a manufacturer, let's say, that is making engines,
Right.
they're going to need to bring component parts in to make those engines.
Right.
Well, within the foreign trade zone, they can bring those parts in duty and tax-free, use them in the assembly of their engines, and then export
Okay.
that product out.
Right.
And it saves a lot of upfront costs. So the
Right.
advantages to island businesses is in cash flow.
Right.
Instead of having all that money sitting out
Yeah.
in the hands of government in the form of duty and taxes, you've got that in your own bank account.
Right. And I would think that on Vancouver Island, for the smaller manufacturing businesses, that is a big chunk.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we see tremendous potential here.
Okay.
We've only scratched the surface of this.
Okay.
We got the federal designation in 2018, and here we are 2 years later, and we're receiving inquiries from all over Canada and all over the rest of the world about what the opportunities are and where they are and where is their industrial land that they can use, et cetera.
Right.
Just as a small example, I don't think a lot of people know that every single day, 300 to 500 empty containers leave Vancouver Island for Vancouver. Empty containers. So if you picture all of the goods that come here from elsewhere,
Yeah.
you know, the stuff you buy at Walmart or the stuff
So
you buy in
300
your
to
grocery
500 is full coming here, but they're empty going back.
store, 300 to 500 empty containers going back every day. The backhaul opportunity there for somebody that's doing distribution here is enormous.
That's massive.
It's massive.
Okay, we need to fix that.
So that's part of the selling point. We're saying,
Right.
you know what? There is
Right.
a great opportunity here for someone that needs to access the North American market,
Yeah.
that they can be here and take advantage of that empty backhaul at a reduced rate.
Absolutely. Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break on that point. You're watching Insights in Business, coming to you from the Tidemark Theatre. My guest today is Mr. George Hanson from the Vancouver Island Economic Alliance. We will be right back.
I had so many people say to me, oh, when you take your art and turn it into your job, it's not the same. To me, it's not really a job. It's just my passion. It's just creating what I love every day.
Welcome back. You're watching Insights in Business, coming to you from the Tidemark Theatre. My name is Ruth Snyder. I'm the Executive Director of the Campbell River and District Chamber of Commerce. My guest today is Mr. George Hanson, who is the President of the Vancouver Island Economic Alliance. Every year, you do a summit. This year, there's a global pandemic. So how are you going to do it?
Virtually.
All right.
Like everybody else, I guess. Yeah, we've thought long and hard about this through the spring, obviously, while everyone was trying to figure out where things were headed, and made the determination that we would do a digital event in a virtual environment. And so we've been working very hard recreating the dynamic and engaging event that the summit has become in a digital environment.
Now, you're well known for having amazing speakers. So who do you have lined up for this year's speaker list?
Oh, well, I'll invite people to go to viea.ca and check out the list for themselves. But we're really excited about the group of speakers and the scope of our program this year.
Okay.
Leading off is going to be a woman called Kate O'Neill from New York City.
Oh,
and
okay.
she's called the tech humanist, and has done presentations for Google and Apple and Cisco and all the major tech companies around the world. And she's going to open up for us with a positive, hopeful outlook towards how technology can be used to serve the needs of people rather than people having to run after the back end of technology.
Have a look at Kate O'Neill.
Hi, I'm Kate O'Neill. I'm author of Tech Humanist and the host of the Tech Humanist Show. And I'm looking forward to joining you in October. Well, I won't be joining you physically, but I look forward to seeing you virtually for the 14th Annual State of the Island Economic Summit. It's going to be a great opportunity to share ideas and resources and to really start thinking about the future of tech and how it shapes the future of humanity. And I know right now there's a lot of uncertainty about the future, but I think we have an opportunity to look at all the possibilities of the future and choose the best path and work toward that. And that's really a lot of the theme that I bring to what I talk about in my keynote, about using data and technology to shape the best futures for humanity, not the worst futures. So I hope that you'll join us, sign up today, and I look forward to seeing you, and I hope you bring your optimism with you.
Wow, is she ever engaging?
Yeah, no, she's great. She's great. And we think opening with that and then moving on through a whole range of topics is going to be very engaging for people. You know, we pride ourselves in the summit that it isn't just your average conference. It's different every year. And it's different every year because the content is grassroots. It is all focused on solving problems on Vancouver Island and exposing opportunities that people might not be aware of. So it's very much a working, engaging, networking kind of environment, even in a virtual world, where we're hearing from experts on Vancouver Island about what they're doing, why they're doing it, what it means, et cetera. So for instance, relative to the, the Campbell River audience, one of the sessions that we're going to have is all about finfish and seaweed aquaculture.
Oh, okay.
So, salmon farming is extremely important to the Vancouver Island economy.
It is.
There's huge opportunity and potential there that we haven't yet uncovered. And we also know that there are all kinds of problems that the industry is working its way through.
Right.
On the flip side of that, seaweed aquaculture is a brand new industry on Vancouver Island with explosive potential, something that VAIA helped to bring forward by writing a business case 2 years ago for seaweed aquaculture. Investors have come, and we're looking at the very beginnings of what we think can become a billion-dollar industry on Vancouver Island, growing and processing a carbon negative product.
Love it. Well, and the environment is so crucially important to so many people up and down the coast and in British Columbia as a whole, especially on the islands, because we have such unique ecosystems. And having a product that is going to be negative carbon, that's really going to capture people's imaginations. Now, one of the things that you do with the summit is you present a report. So even with the global pandemic, are you still doing a report?
Especially with the pandemic.
Okay.
And there's another example of things that we have been doing and fostering in our economy that take on even more importance now that we have the situation.
Right.
So in 2015, we produced the first of the State of the Island economic reports. And now this is the 6th edition that will be released at the summit. And like our organization, it is unique in Canada. It is the only regional non-government economic report produced in the country. And it gives us hard data to tell us what is and what is not working in our economy.
So at what point do you print that report? Because things are changing very quickly right now, day by day.
Yes, well, I'm going to see the first draft in the last week in September.
Okay.
And the report will literally be printed days before the summit.
Okay. Now, I understand that somebody was telling me that they take that report from the summit and literally every single MLA in the province of BC gets a copy and carries it with them for a year to use as a reference.
Well, I believe that's true. We send copies to the Prime Minister's office, and it is extremely valuable because think of this, we're the only region in the country that has not anecdotal data, but hard data about what is going on in the economy. It's very powerful. So communities use it, business people use it as a base point for research when they're producing business plans.
Right.
Or they're working on community planning or whatever it is. This gives them a sense of what the trends are, where the economy is going. And now 6 years into it, you can take the 2020 report and compare the numbers apples to 2019, 2018, 2017, 2016. We do that very deliberately so that you can compare the numbers and be able to look at the trends over time.
And are all of those pieces of information available on the website?
So
going
all of
back that far?
All of the previous reports from 15 to 19 are on the website, and anybody can access those.
Excellent.
If they want to access the new report, it costs $195.
Okay. Or come to the summit.
Or come to the summit, or be a member of VAIA, and you get access to the report for free.
What does a membership cost for being a member?
It's like Island Good. It's for a micro business, it's $165.
Okay.
And for a major corporation or large communities, $1,000.
Okay.
So we scale it so that people can afford to participate.
Awesome. Now, we are almost out of time. Is there anything that you would like to share with businesses about what they should be thinking about as they move through this global pandemic?
I would say that they need to be prepared that this is not over. You know, what's a quote I like to use is that former heavyweight champion of the world, Mike Tyson, once said, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. We've been punched in the face.
Right.
Okay. If we look at it, any plan that any of us had in March was irrelevant by April, right? And is ancient history now.
Right.
And part of the anxiety that we're working with right now is that we still can't plan.
Right.
Because we don't know yet. There's no vaccine, there's no answer. We go up, we go down, you know. So everyone's kind of taking it day by day, and that's exhausting.
It is exhausting.
We're all exhausted. Right?
Right.
And the end is not just around the corner.
Okay.
You know, we comfort ourselves talking about the new normal. The new normal isn't anywhere near us yet. So I think people need to be prepared to continue to be resilient.
Right.
Because, you know, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't suggest what October or November or December is going to look like.
Okay.
But I don't think I don't think we're going to just spring out of this quickly.
All right. Well,
I wish I could say something happier on that.
That's okay. That's very wise words for all of us to take into account. George, thank you so much for making the time today in your very busy schedule to come to Campbell River and sit 2 meters apart to have this conversation. And really to raise our understanding of what Vancouver Island Economic Alliance is and the programs that you have going. They really are dynamic, and I really appreciate the work that you're doing on behalf of all the businesses and look forward to future engagement. So thank you so much.
You're welcome, and it's been a pleasure being with you. Thank you.
You've been watching Insights in Business, coming to you from the Tidemark Theatre in Campbell River. I'm Ruth Snyder. Please join us again.